Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BobbySapphire, TheHyperloops.com, coming at you with our first Legion video. What? What is happening? Uh, so the reason why I'm making a Legion video is because I had a conversation in the Legion Discord the other day about what I think would make really good content, and I've gotten a few people, like content creators, contact me about it, and what would you do, and just sort of like, you know, looking for ideas. And one of the reasons why I started thehyperloops.com was to create the content I wanted to see. So I'm going to do that here. I'm just taking information from a game I played earlier this week, just a ladder game against a random opponent. I'm not anybody. This game isn't like any monumental game. It's just to give you an idea of the kind of content I think would be really good and still worth talking about, even though I get crap for my list all the time, which I got from Keegan from 6up. And I've made tweaks to because people don't like Jin, whatever, I don't care. And then, obviously looking at this Empire list, Empire has a bad rap right now. Callus and Op Vader don't have like very high marks. It's an interesting list. I don't think many people would think that it's necessarily good list, but whatever. Those are the lists. I wanted to show them to you so you would have some frame of reference. What we're gonna do, and this is a video like series, I'm gonna call
That's operational.
Thanks, hon. That was my wife sneezing like an old man in the background. Which is just to look at the first round of a game. This is like very similar to what Turn Zero does, but I'm going over the setup and like how that game progresses. Because as much as I love Turn Zero, I love all the guys at Turn Zero. What I really, really, really want out of my Legion content is to understand how to play the game better. Which Turn Zero is great for that, but like then what do I do? Like I'm new to the game and I'm like, well, what do I do? I'm a pretty good X-Wing player, but in that game, like you spread out and you kind of like, you either joust or you're like playing AC, and in this game, it's completely different. Quick TLDR was we had VAPs, which I banned, then he banned advanced positions, then I banned whatever was next. I didn't care because I just want to recover the supplies. And then he passed because he wanted blue player on Hemden. And I liked hostile environment because if I could get a suppression token on R2, it meant that he could keep it all game. So that was my thinking there. And then I want to go to this setup that we did, which is on Hemden. Obviously, it's, you can't see everything very clearly. I'll zoom in a little, but I did want to say, like, I started out, he just started tucking things in to here, and he saved, like, Callus and Vader for later, but he did put his snipers 2 over here and then 1 up here. And this one is, like, super stranded. Like, there's a ladder there, but I don't know. Like, it just seemed he was going to be very stranded up there. But he put these snipers up first. I started by placing this group, which I was like very far away from what he was doing, and this group because on Hemdan I didn't want to commit to either side. And like if I go very light like I did on this side and only have one trooper there, like that's fine because I have like a little flank going on, and like R2 is all by himself. I put that box there, and then the blue boxes I put, like these were the ones that he did. And I knew I was going to infiltrate Jin there, and then my plan was to put Sabine in and jump to that box immediately. I really like this map for my Wookiees because I can hide them behind here. Oh, I didn't put them in the right spot. Because I can hide them over here. And I can either go... my plan was to pop these guys out to shoot whoever came here, and have these guys climb up and shoot whoever came here or maybe there, and then be in a good position to scale down. And the red Wookiees would be in a great position to scale up in here, and then maybe down and charge. And my rebel officers over here with another naked trooper. And then what I did was, because I've been testing... actually, this was the first game I tried jetpack rockets. I talked a lot about it with some friends and said, like, oh, because Clan Ren, it's only 3 red dice. And even at range 3, I can just shoot Tristan's gun and have 2 red and 2 black, but then it would be suppressive and still have blast, so an additional die. But what I wanted to do is just sort of like give this is like a really flexible reactive list, right? And I wanted to, oh, I cut my camera down here. Hold on. I wanted to, just make those jetpack rockets give me even more flexibility, which I thought would be great. And in 2 games, they have been really good, even though it's just 3 red dice. So I reconned these guys up. This is the last thing I want to talk about in turn 0. I reconned these guys up. Not even that far, right? Like just a little bit, because I wanted them to have a range 4 shot into like wherever I wanted to go. But also, actually, there's just a little bit. Life, man. They were a little bit further up because what I ended up doing was just firing the rockets at these snipers because they could see. So I think, actually, when I set this back up, I didn't save the game right, but when I set this back up, I made sure that they could shoot one set of snipers no matter what. So I think like it was probably more like that because they fired at a full unit. The one mistake I think I made is because I wanted to reveal this last. This is the last thing I did, and I was like so set on having Sabine jump to this box. Was that I actually placed them outside of retinue range by just a little bit, and I could have very easy. I didn't want Sabine to get shot. My plan was to standing orders and just standing orders these guys. So everything else was going to be pulled from the bag, and Sabine would have been far away, like really far away. From getting hit, it probably would have been heavy cover. She's got her shield. So if I had just moved her there, then I get the retinue and I get to aim, fire the rocket, and then jump to safety. But I didn't think of that at the time, which is one of the reasons. It was like the main impetus for me even to want to go back to this game, because she could still be here, jump to there, be completely protected by the rock, and give these guys the aim for retinue. Instead, I aimed, fired, took out an entire biker scout unit, and took some return fire back, and ended up losing a model and taking a third, like another wound. And that was even after getting luckily drawing my rebel officer and doing take cover on these guys. So I think that really cost me, but everything else went to plan on this side of the map. These guys end up jumping over here. These Wookiees end up coming up into the woods to get cover and shoot down. This whole group moved up, and these guys moved up. And then Sabine went here. And then she's way out, but she's got a box, and she's on a super flank. My plan was to move these guys up. And so just to cover what he did really quick is that he pushed like this side of his units here. He moved Callus into this box. He brought the red unit up as well to sort of cover both angles to help protect Callus in here. And then these white boys moved out here. And what he did with Vader, which was really interesting, was he spurred and moved Vader to about here to chase Jin and R2, who I had moved up here. So Jin had the opportunity to, she's probably not exactly where I placed her in the game because she was able to take a shot on Vader, a range 3 shot. And she actually dealt 2 wounds, which was pretty insane. And then I moved her as far as wherever her furthest move was. I moved her down here. So like his Vader was chasing a Jin who, was going to be able to come this way. And even though I didn't have a lot here, if he was just going to chase Jin and R2, like his best guy is way out of the fight. These Wookiees popped out to shoot Cal. So like everything was just going to plan. And if he went here, like if he went this way with Vader, I was going to move in, flank with Sabine, push these guys in, try and get into some sort of engagement with my Wookiees. I'm going to jump to where we went right before turn 3. See if this is the right timestamp. Yeah, so this is right before turn 3, and he moved. He ended up moving his Vader back, which I thought was like really rough because he basically gave up on Jin by running. Callus ran here. Vader came back into the fight. Now he played Master of Evil, so he could come attack these Wookiees. But there was still enough of them around to do damage back. He ends up retreating, and I shoot with Clan Ren and then get these Wookiees down and engaged. But Sabine on the super flank, and from this point, like, I'm pretty happy. Like, I'm not sure I hung Jin totally out to dry. Once he moves Vader back in, I just move Jin back up, and she ends up just taking out both these snipers in subsequent turns. Sabine's gonna take care of this job, and like he's got 3 boxes and is running. But as you can see, like the red army is completely gone. There's only 1 yellow left. There's only 2 turquoise left because without Vader there to protect him, I just slowly moved in and kill box. Like these guys were in range 3 of whoever, like this yellow unit that came and got this box, and they picked at him. The Wookiees did exactly what I said, which was scale down, charge, eat the rest of them. Now Sabine's just going to come in and gunslinger all these like weakened units or explosions. So I was pretty happy the way that these first. Normally I only want to cover the first turn, but since I had this game state saved, I figured I would at least get us here. Where the only thing I think was a real big mistake on opening was not keeping Sabine in the retinue range. And then the other thing is with Jin retreating here, and she does push up. R2's left hang out to dry. I did get that suppression on him, and he has a wound. He took a sniper shot, which was great because with hostile environment, his not incognito, his inconspicuous is turned on, as long as you can see, like I kept him off of the terrain, so he would keep that suppression. To hide him over here, and then just turn 6 blast off into the deployment zone if I even had to use blast off, which like was questionable, right? Because it's like depending on where I can safely move him up, like I might not even have to play blast off. But what ended up happening is Callus did his thing where he like played his I think his 1 pip gives him charge or something, and he totally ate R2 for breakfast. So I definitely messed that up. But that was my plan. I mean, I have a really reactive list, and I spread out, which I keep being told not to do. But I thought I had vectors to attack, and the jetpack rockets were really great. I mean, that's not to speak of, and I'm sure we could all find flaws in what my opponent did. All I want to do is take you through what I did on a turn 0, turn 1 situation, so you know not only like what are the right cards to pick, but like what is the thought process behind why I did what I did. And as I become a better player, hopefully, I can provide more insight if I even continue to make these. For the most part, I just wanted to make a demo video of what I was looking for in content. So we ended up taking this game with only Callus and the Imperial officer still alive when he conceded, and we lost a few Wookiees and some melee with Vader, but other than that, we hadn't lost an activation other than R2, which I need to get better at, and that's my plan. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned from it. I would love feedback because obviously from now on I'm just going to record my games so I can actually take you through a video of them. I did the best with what I could. I hadn't planned on making any Legion content, but here we are. Yeah, so any constructive feedback would be great. Or if you just want to tell me to F off, feel free. I hope you have a great night, and I hope you get to play some Legion today.